Hey guys, welcome back. Obviously, you're watching Up and Adam, and I am so happy because it's Tuesday. We have Real Housewives of New Jersey coming tonight, and I wanted to thank you all again for another amazing round of Wake Up and Adam. We have so many exciting things coming your way. I might be flying out again soon for another incredible interview, and if this happens, if we follow this all the way through, you guys are going to freak TF out. Okay, let me just leave it at that. But in the meantime, we're not back to talk about what we have coming up. We're back to talk about an update on Lisa Vanderpump, who was thrown off of her horse. And everyone keeps asking me because they knew or they know that I worked for Lisa. And they're like, Adam, have you talked to Lisa? Do you know if she's okay? Do you know what happened? And I think it's important for people to remember, as you know, for me, I have so much respect and love for this woman and her family and Ken and her husband. I think that they're all incredible, but I was an employee. I wasn't a friend. So even though they would be nice and it was always a pleasant encounter when I would see them, it's not like Lisa's calling me to be like, listen, Adam, I know you heard about this. So I have to get my information through the news just like everyone else. But we do have an update. Before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so we know that we heard last week Lisa Vanderpump was thrown off of a horse and she broke her leg in a couple of places, and everyone was coming in with different stories. We heard she broke 2 legs. We heard she broke 1 in 3 or 4 places. We didn't know what it was, but TMZ actually caught up with her husband, Ken Todd, and he gave us a little bit more information. Before I talk about the TMZ stuff, I do want to say thank you to Page 6 for this incredible article. And it was said that Lisa Vanderpump is on the mend after being bucked off of a horse last week. The Vanderpump Rules star revealed on Instagram that she broke her leg in multiple places and injured her back in the horseback riding accident, but is maintaining her optimism despite the setback. She said, "Thank you for all of the well wishes and beautiful flowers. I am doing much better after surgery." And she captioned a series of photos of gorgeous bouquets. 4 fractures in my leg and a badly bruised back, but I am on the road to recovery. I will be back in the saddle of life soon. These are the reality star's first remarks since the unnamed queen suddenly reared up and threw her off his back. Vanderpump Rules' husband, Ken Todd, later told TMZ that it was unlikely that she would ever ride horses again, which breaks my heart for Lisa because anyone who knows her knows that, one, she loves animals. I think she loves animals more than people. She's such a huge animal activist. She obviously loves dogs, but riding horses is one of her passions. She even has 2 little mini horses at home, Diamonds and Rose. This is a big deal for her. And I'm sure it's hard when somebody tells you, it's like when you're going through life and there's something you love so much, or like, for example, this is something different, but like my pops loves sweets and then he had to have a surgery and the doctor was like, no more sweets for you. And he's like, that's all I eat. And, this is a very different situation, but when you have something that you love so much and then, in the blink of an eye, it's over and you don't get to have those moments back, then you think about it like, wow, I can't believe this is over. She said, well, Ken said, I think maybe that was her last ride. This is what he told TMZ. I wouldn't let her ride again. Ken Todd emphasized that the horse was previously gentle, perfect, and amazing before noting that even the most experienced equestrians don't know when an animal will get spooked. He said, I was there. When I saw her thrown off, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I ran over there and she was just on the floor and she knew that she had broken her leg straight away. Oh, Ken also shared that his wife's recovery would take 8 to 10 weeks and she'll then have to go to physical therapy. This is going to be a long road. As Bravo fans know, the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has always had a passion for animals, specifically horses and dogs. And she once said in a Vanderpump Rules confessional that she tried to make it to the horse stables at least 3 times a week. Again, my heart breaks for Lisa on this. Obviously, we're all wishing her a speedy recovery. We know that she just became a grandmother. Her daughter Pandora and her husband Jason Sabo, they had a beautiful little baby. So there's so many exciting things happening in her life. And for this to just kind of be thrown in there, I'm sure it sucks. It's completely unfortunate. But it just does go to show you that, things can happen every day. There can be something that happens to all of us. That's why when you wake up, and you think about your family and you think about your friends and the people that you love and that are so important to you, if you're thinking about them, just take 10 seconds to just let them know that you're thinking about them. Share that love, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, this even reminds me too of, well, I don't mean to get sappy about it, but this even reminds me of the situation where I was talking to my best friend, and then I found out after Thanksgiving that she was in a horrific accident and she's no longer with us. So it's really important to just make sure that you take advantage. We get one life. At least that's what we're told, right? I mean, not all of us, but okay. Anyways, getting back to it. For Lisa, since we were talking about her and Vanderpump Rules, and we did another video about Lala Kent, I was asking a lot of people what they think about a Vanderpump Rules season 10, and if you think that they would be coming back on the show. People are so much more interested in having Lisa return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but guys, that's not going to happen. They treated her like absolute garbage when she was, leaving the show. And I know that all of the housewives have their moments, and there were some moments where Lisa, like she was a housewife, so she had to clap back at people sometimes too. But when her brother and her mother passed away and the women all ganged up on her, I'm pretty sure that was the nail in the coffin for her being on the show. And she was like, I'm not going to be treated like that. My life is amazing. I have beautiful children. I have, businesses. I'm successful. I don't need to sit down and argue with all of these women. And I also have my own spinoff show, which is Vanderpump Rules. So I don't see her going back on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but I could easily see her, having Vanderpump Rules extended to season 10 if the network will extend it. But at this point, they ended off the franchise with more storylines than they even started it with. Now going into the new season, season 10, which will most likely start filming in March, April, May, in 2.5 months, I'm sure that we're going to see Lala Kent navigating her single life. We're going to see DJ James Kennedy and his new girlfriend. I don't think we'll get Raquel back. Of course, we're going to hear more about Ariana and Katie's, something about her sandwich shop. And maybe even by then they'll have started construction. And then Tom and Tom, Shorts and Sandy's, their new bar is supposed to open up in March. So of course, we're definitely going to get a sneak peek into that, because if you guys watch the season 9 reunion, you would see where they had a little video, a home video where they taped themselves walking around the bar and giving us a little bit of an update, like a progress party, a real progress party. So I'm looking forward to it. I know Jason kept calling it the season of completion, but I think he was wrong. And this isn't the first time Jason's been wrong. He was also wrong about Vida Tequila, which happened to be amazing. So sorry, Jason, no shade. All right, guys, with that, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this update on Lisa Vanderpump. How do you feel about it? And do you think Vanderpump Rules season 10 will be greenlit, or do you think that the network will cut it off at season 9 and say, you know what, it's time to move on? I definitely want all of your opinions. I value your opinions. So go ahead, give them to me. And before you go, don't forget that Zach and I did announce our tour last week. We're going to 3 cities, which is a part of a much larger project. So I hope you guys, well, one, enjoy the big announcement. And we have another big announcement tomorrow when we're recapping the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Zach and I, of course, with a very special guest who we all love, and we're making a huge announcement for one of our cities. We're coming to Los Angeles, Nashville, and New York City to kick this off, all in April 7th, 13th, and 28th. We'll be coming to LA on April 7th, Nashville on April 13th, and New York City on April 28th. I absolutely cannot wait. So much fun. So many fun things planned for you guys. If you want to join us, make sure you go buy your tickets at spillingtealive.com. Join us for the fun. Let's have a party. It's going to be a blast. On your way out, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.